I need a podcast. I don't think nobody fucks with me. I need a podcast. I can bring you over. I need a podcast. I don't think nobody fucks with me. Yeah, I need a podcast. Yeah, now let me do a podcast. I'm about to get on your ass. I need a podcast.
Damn, son, where'd you find that shit? You know what I'm saying? We hit it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if your career end up going here, you start to see the paranormal, or you start to see call the Ghostbusters, call the podcast, but that damn, son, where you find that shit?
All things may not
Volume
be
right.
But that don't mean within your career, you should be going left.
What they need?
I need a podcast. I don't think nobody fucks with me. I need a podcast. I can bring you over. I need a podcast. I don't think nobody fucks with me.
That's why they need a.
I need a podcast. Yeah, now let me do a podcast. I'm about to get on your ass. I need a podcast. When you was sitting back smoking, I just waiting for you. You jumped into a world somebody else created. You probably don't know that you're real that made it. I took you from your high horse and brought you back to earth. You just got to America, you ain't have to search. No matter what land it is, you know I had it first. You getting recommended by your handlers to stay in the spotlight. Yeah, you get confused what you think you're doing, shit you think about my life. The industry on a crash out, ain't seeing the spectrum. Trying to figure what your agent doing, now you need to check them. Trying to revive your career, going to a meeting with questions. Somewhere burning in the hellfire with a demons of laughter. Right at the drawing board, but can you tell me what you're trying for? You are just copying, so in your brain there is not a storm. Either you got out of jail or lost your career and turned to a carnivore. Stop your own people paying what your job is for. I need a podcast. I don't think nobody fucks with me. I need a podcast. I can bring you over. I need a podcast. I don't think nobody fucks with me. Yeah, I need a podcast. Yeah, now let me go and broadcast. I'm about to get on your ass. I need a podcast.
That's how a person feel when they get up. They like, I'm about to kill them with this content. I'm about to kill them. I'm about to get on their ass. Damn, son, where'd you find this shit? Angel may cry part 3.
Swear, and I ain't even need a flannel. You're probably sending bots to other people's channels.
Oh,
Now in the
shit.
chat with fake
Oh,
pages
that's
on
what
the
they doing.
broadcast.
That's what they doing. That's what they doing.
Yeah, I need a podcast. Yeah, now let me go and broadcast. I'm about to get on your ass. I need a podcast. Stand up, I swear, and I ain't even need a flannel. You're probably sending bots to other people's channels. Y'all in the chat with fake pages on other people's panels. Doxing and trolling, shit the courts need to handle. The industry malicious, playing militia gang. The shit I be malicious from the initial stage. And now you just a streamer, used to do a dig, ride around in your beamer. Hit the jiggy with this shit you got. Fuck around, you like this thug and we ain't on no VI. Gotta be more clear what you doing before you colonize. You are just a regular person trying to get monetized. Ain't the content of your investigations be causing time for other individuals doing dirt, but they all online. Lord, please help them, they all be doing some bad work. I truly understand it's about the brand first. I need a podcast. I don't think nobody fucks with me. I need a podcast. I can bring you over. I need a podcast. I don't think nobody fucks with me. Yeah, I need a podcast. Yeah, now let me do a broadcast. I'm about to get on your ass. I need a podcast. The bitch wanna fuck with me. The bitch wanna fuck with me. It's like, the bitch wanna fuck with me. 'Cause I got something to talk about.
I'm about to drop the classic this year. I'm dropping all the classics. We're gonna talk about hey, Dare program rappers. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about Dare program. Let's talk about it for a second. This might be the energies people trying to force at a round table that I'm trying to tell y'all. Why didn't enough people at round tables not listen to me? I could have swore, maybe I didn't describe it right. Did I put that video on Patreon? No, it's still on YouTube. I specifically broke down. People are extra aware at maybe things that could have got away with in 2016 in the industry or before. Man, not this time. I mean, all ethnic groups. It could be an ethnic group that ain't even into hip hop right now. Here they go into it just to protest now. And then now you got a whole nother community. You know what I'm saying? People are extra aware when their culture is being sliced up, cut, put in the oven, bake it. Oh, I'm saying bake it. A lot of y'all got marshmallow waistlines right now and stuff like because you thought you was cooking. You thought you was sitting somewhere with your team. Get ready to scheme. Oh, I'm saying like, but you got the thing. It's a lot of things going on right now. A lot of things when it comes to the spirit world. It's a war going on outside. The body though. Last time I checked, when you went to sleep or you was daydreaming before you came up with that creative goal, that I don't know how you sold that many records on, but or sold that many movies, that community brought that many people to your community. I don't know how. It was new age though, but you know what I'm saying? Last time I checked, your body was there. Your first body was somewhere else and stuff like that. So you wasn't in this body. It was in another body. A lot of y'all be going to hell sometimes, nightmares. Sometimes y'all be flying around, float butter, airhead. I said, that wasn't no good dream. Don't come describing to me. I was flying around. I mean, I've been telling you was flying around. I mean, when you woke, you alive, you retarded, degenerate. Reprobate. In some way, shape, or form, you all over the place. You don't know how to construct and foundate your thoughts. And that's it. That's the only time you have a dreams about flying all over the place. Yeah, when you woke, you be in this little cloud, fart thought. You be in this little cloud, fart thought, and this one. Of course, when you go to sleep and rest, you should be floating on one of those. I'm falling. I can't get up. They say, help. I shot a DMX. I said it's one of them energies and stuff. You already in when you alive, even if you sitting down like Beavis and Butthead. You falling off somewhere. You falling off in your relationship. You falling off in your goals. You know what I'm saying? They got the nerve to call me, talk about, yo, G, I had a dream I was flying. Don't tell me nothing like that no more. Back to you daredevil rappers and stuff like that. They'll say, y'all go get you some, like, look, there's an esoteric candy lady, right? In the esoteric world, when you got esoteric currency, you go there, things play out differently in the physical world. It's the same thing, though. It's the same thing. Go get you some charisma. Stop eating Snicker bars and stuff down here, flavor hot Cheetos and stuff. You'll look like La Russell. Go in the spiritual world, meet the esoteric. You eat all that candy, you ain't even got no time to go get no snacks down here in the physical world. That candy turn out as gold, new hit records. You could be yourself. You ain't got to be no Dare program rapper. We gonna get into it. We don't get into it because there's a lot of stuff y'all be people game, but y'all start to react to it, and I don't want these people to go ahead and crash out thinking that they doing something, thinking that they stumbled on gold. Don't sell not one record to one soul. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling y'all, industry, start looking on the internet and stuff like that. Or get some creative directors that know how to look at it. Y'all be in some energies where y'all just get any old body and they call themselves a creative director. Then they got to go pay somebody to go get in tune with some community or ethnic group or something like that. Then they got to pay the COON in that community that get hit upside their head all the time. So they don't really be having a nuance. And then y'all be having to count on them to sound like Will Smith or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It didn't crash out in this new age where none of that works. You got to just go there. Got to go to the grassroots and go there and pluck the fruit or be amongst them yourselves and stuff like that. Because we come in with a new type of thing where if it's done right, it's the new thing. We can't just be sitting around. You know what I'm saying? That's what we get ready to get into right now. Because we got a bunch of Dare program rappers and they're not being received the way they may have been received before 2016. And it ain't like we up here just be talking to the air. I hope I ain't. Much psyops that was done on me and stuff like that. I know a little. I've been around the spiritual block a few times. Beyond that, I'm talking about as far as intelligence for I know how to get out of my biases. And even if it is an institution attached to something that did some person to me, I know how to separate that everybody is people. And even in other certain pockets where people may need help, even if they in the industry and they making money and stuff like that. I don't want nobody to crash out or whatever the case may be. But I have been warning individuals that there's a certain influence that we're going through as far as this new shift, the new paradigm shift. So you're not seeing things through the old filtering glasses. You're seeing things through another filtering glasses. And it might be things you were once into that you're not into no more. So that causes clarity concepts where it ain't no physical form for us to wipe your windshield wipers and call something clear. It's the spiritual essence we create before it become physical things and things we can do or whatever the case. So just by you being in another pocket, even when you go back and see something from that previous pocket filtering glasses, you're going to see it from another angle. But then that's also qualities of seeing something more clear. Because when you're inside something, you don't know that's what you is. That's like a fish being in water and not being able to imagine how it is to be a human or a land creature or whatever the case may be until they become one. Other than that, you just think you're a creature in the water or however. You see what I'm saying? So right now, as we're going through this new shift, or however, we're also able to see things that we were in, that we weren't. Well, a lot of y'all and other ethnic groups and things of that nature are able to see things that they wasn't able to see before because they was inside of it. And it's going to be a lot of things that you see more on a percentage scale of stuff that's supposed to be in your favor, and a lot of things that have been taken that's supposed to be in your favor that have been filtered, cosplayed, infiltrated, and utilized for other people and stuff like that that can't keep it up. So it's like a spiritual energy that God looking at, and like I said, it ain't just what you do to others, it's what you allow to be done to you also, and things of that nature. So it's like a concept where a person can have some energy, but when they give when they give what God gave them away, and even if an individual manipulated it from you, whether they're your best friend, close, whatever, call it, it don't even matter, right? God take it from both of y'all because you were supposed to be strong enough to not allow it to be taken from you in some way, shape, or form. And then they didn't produce it in the first place, so they can only wear it in cosplay for a little bit until it's time for them to reproduce the natural source of it and not just be trying to sell the resources of it. And then they got to go find another source because they didn't destroy it or something like that, the original source where it came from, or did bad business, or how they came, or they took our lands. However the case it may be and things of that nature. But when you start to look at it, right, from a natural aspect, this God testing everybody when it comes to intellectual property. And in the industry, we can see everybody Fort getting raided right now. I mean, R&B don't even exist at the moment. Tell me I'm lying. And it got raided in a psyop. At this point, Taylor Swift is R&B, prime R&B. Now, you'll probably cast stones at me and stuff like that, but last time I checked, the money being made, the statistics of it, the optics, all the gratification, I thought R&B was in that position, and it slipped in. That's Taylor Swift. You know what I'm saying? Justin Bieber. You know what I'm saying? Justin Timberlake. Oh, just in another industry player. Oh, that's it. Let's get into it. So this is what y'all gotta understand. There's a lot of things that's being dumped and it's not being received well due to the fact of this what people are reacting and responding to, but may not necessarily know how to communicate it, may not necessarily know how to express it. Oh, my bad. But yet it's a situation where, you know what I'm saying, you might invest all your time. Let's say you in the industry, you might invest your time and your money. You might not have another way to go about to present one of your artists or however the case may be. But it's going to be the main thing that's going to be attacked due to the fact of this new world we in, a new Wild Wild West, and everybody is more on a percentage scale of trying to develop something on their own volition. So people don't even got time to even be seeing another person getting psyop based upon that connection of feeling like they may get psyop, or a person don't feel like getting psyop because they want the reciprocation, or they want the, I don't want to use attention because a lot of person go down the wrong road with that, but you know, the credit for what they're actually doing. And you know, when we was back in just before 2016 and just having TVs and things of that nature, it was easy, you know, to get a coon that takes something from the hood that they was in or whatever the case may be. And we only know that quality from the individual that was a coon because they was the one on these stages or however the case. And, you know, once upon a time, that was something that it still didn't go as far as how it's supposed to. That's why a lot of lies had to happen. Like the moment Jay-Z said, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. That's when the industry start thinking about, okay, we can lie on numbers. So remember, it's like a They'll tell you something and remix it. You know what I'm saying? So what they telling you is what it actually is. So the person who telling you it ain't something, that's the person, that expression or the vehicle for what it is. So when it comes to dare program rappers, right, this is absorbing a false sentiment of the people because they not around the nuance of things to truly understand why they come across as performative. Now, when we come into the performance, pop culture itself and things of that nature, when we used to look at TV and stuff like that, we knew it was performative, just like wrestling or however the case and things of that nature. But for the most part, now it's getting to a mixture, a blending into real life due to the fact of everybody online and their social media pages is something that they have to utilize on their phone. I mean, you don't have to pay for cable or whatever the case. A phone is something you paying for that's yours, and these apps is something that you choose to get, whether you're the watcher, viewer, or the content creator or whatever the case may be. So that separates the whole concept of something being sold to someone when someone is up here selling themselves. And then it's not even seen as a person selling themselves when they're genuine, which allows them to attract the genuine attraction and things of that nature, to the point that depending on how good they are, they might start getting attacked by industry games because they can't do it as good, but they want that same type of spotlight or however the case. But these things wouldn't exist if we wasn't online and it wasn't a new wild, wild west, because online is just another example of you have to compete with people who ain't involved in nepotism or involved in it ain't what I know how to do, is who I know, or you just a little closer to the person, you just a little closer to homeboy, you just a little closer to homegirl that can get you in the door or whatever the case may be. All that out the window. We creating our own doors or whatever. And anytime there's a door forced to be shut because it ain't got nothing to do with a building that they want all the doors in or whatever the case may be, it causes a reaction. It causes a domino effect where it doesn't necessarily affect whoever is making the other person a competitor. It affects the audience because the audience is just like the person that created the new door or whatever the case may be. That's a sentiment thing. That ain't necessarily a thing that someone could sell something to. So we have to be careful practicing shady business practices online amongst a bunch of regular people too. You know what I'm saying? Because it gets a little weird. It's almost like some bum online that sit here and talk about another bum online. Now here's the thing. All content creators, technically we all bums. If you want to think about it and things, but when it comes to the people who created this, you don't have to use a large percentage of your time or content to talk about others. You kind of built your own self, and your opinion on things is just kind of like the creme de la creme of it, the butter or the cream of it, or whatever the case may be. But at some point, though, we do have to realize everybody regular people. This ain't no industry. So when you get too much clutter online, like a person like the thing that used to go on in the conscious community a lot, where you'll have some common retard or bum or AI, and they whole content is about another bum online, and they whole meaning and reasoning behind it is terms like, oh, it's conscious community, oh, we have to stop this person, oh man, these people don't be nobody. Damn sure don't be influenced. Like everybody adults or whatever the case may. I don't know how people be looking at it, but you could tell when it be just some dumb people who look at things a certain way, and then they think everybody in the world look at it like that. Like that's dumb. You could be Michael Jackson to be my next door neighbor. I'm entertained by whatever you went to the studio and did. I could give a damn about trying to be like you. You see what I'm saying? I'm keep it 100. So whatever you do, I don't give a fuck about. I ain't about to get in your business all like that. I don't care like that. Because you retarded anyway. You only could go so far with that amongst other retarded people. The stuff online, you get another retard talking about another retard and then make it seem like it's some industry or celebrities. And then that's when I leave online when I start. But that was like a couple of years ago. But at the same time, it's kind of like that. It's just like weirdo stuff. So when you're a celebrity and you taking too much advice on your business tactics, copying content creators and things of that nature, it ain't you pleasing the content creator like you gonna get a bigger audience. It's you turning the audience and the content creators off on your creativity, and you're starting to appear to be an individual who lack creativity and think that you're just jumping in something that's just what the world is doing at the moment. No, and it took people to actually do these things to make it comfortable enough for people who too weak to do these things anyway. That's people like me and stuff like that. So we the people who get real psyops done on us and stuff like that. Then you just get a whole bunch of infiltrating that energy and making it seem like some people that they're paying is going through stupid stuff. Or no, it's not. No. That's going to get resisted from the audience and content creators because we the people. You can't do no dumb shit like that because the industry is crumbling. But look, check it out, right? So when it comes into industry psyop at the moment, right, it's absorbing a false sentiment of people because they're not around the nuance. So this is going to be your dare program rappers, right? So this is your people like LaRussell, your D1s, and stuff like that. That's why you see them getting support for things none of us in real life care about. So you could tell it's what the industry think people care about. Like I tell people, if you had common sense and you're an adult, you'll know 90% of content creators online is doing things purely off virtue signaling. When they cut off the live stream or the upload button, they don't care as much as they express their investment. When they're sitting back trying to figure out how to even jump in the algorithm, man, that come with a made up emotion. That come with I gotta act like I care. That come with a lot of things. You'll have people sitting around actually taking these things serious and stuff like that. And last time I checked, if YouTube still ain't have monetization, you wouldn't even have that. It take people like me to be doing that anyway. And not even doing that concept, but just doing that anyway, and then attract people because that's the normal thing in life. Because it reminds people of everybody, all conversations we have in our living rooms and kitchens and stuff like that. And then for the most part, that's what makes something genuine and grassroots. Other than that, it getting psyoped and made up as retardation because people who read Bibles and things of that nature and get lost because they're part of institutions. This is where it gets retarded. You know what I'm saying? So, and this is where we get the LaRussells, the D1s, you know what I'm saying, and all this type of weirdo stuff. So for the most part, when you think about the psyop itself, what are these individuals psyoping? Right before we break down what's actually happening, because I ain't gonna go so long in this because I got another live stream tonight. Right? D1, a psyop of pop culture morals. Jack Harlow, a psyop of hip hop culture. LaRussell, a psyop of whistleblower culture. Russ, a psyop of independent rapper culture. These dudes, it's a lot more too. These dudes specifically have deals to do that exact thing. That's what y'all have to understand. So when y'all hear Russ out here saying he's independent, he got a deal to do that. That is his deal, to act like he independent. When you see LaRussell out here taking content creators and red pill talking points and talk about everybody heaven sent or whatever the case, that's not even rap. He's not even rapping. He just went up there and did some Def Jam poetry. You know what I'm saying? That was Def Jam poetry or whatever the case may be. You already know you're an undercover cop. You know what I'm saying? Russ is a Dare program rapper, an undercover cop artist. You know what I'm saying? So right now, undercover cops. So now you know undercover cops is trying to be musicians and content creators now. You know, where we been knew that, but they just going hard with it now. They're trying to make the whole world fed. This is their way of doing it in business, entertainment, education, religion, and politics. We just talk about entertainment right now. All right. But they're too detached to understand how they're coming across in some way, shape, or form. So, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes people got to be brought back down to earth before you go too far and crash out and stuff like that. Then it won't be no artist you could present. You know what I'm saying? It won't be no narrative you could present or whatever the case may be, because your credibility will be all over the place. So if you're practicing the energy of trying to discredit other people based off false narratives and stuff like that, all those type of individuals is getting these things back. That's just like how you can see how the little psyop that they're doing with Boozy right now to try to see what ethnic group care more about this or not, whether it's real or not. It's just about that or whatever. But for the most part, a lot of these things is switching up about what's morally attractive or not, or whatever the case. So all that energy harvesting and what they call that energy harvesting and all that, these things are made up. Destiny swapping, these things don't exist. Like in reality, when a person, let's say a person really sitting back and be like, oh, I'm gonna take this person's destiny, I'm gonna swap them. You're lost in a Madame Gabisky book. Like in reality, you're trying to question why you wasn't born from that person's mother. You know what I'm saying? And when you understand that as just a regular spirit and the person you in, you'll start to realize you lost in something. Like you're really lost, and other people was lost in it. Y'all made it normal, or whatever the case, but it has nothing to do with nothing. And if this is your highest concept of entertain, how you can put yourself in the world or something like that, then that's your problem. You see what I'm saying? Because we're in a new shift. These things not actually, they don't actually mean anything, whatever like that. Especially when we online right now. You can't be acting like you came out of somebody else's cootie cat, and then you trying to say because of what that person idea is, it's profitable for business for you to psyop it. Like that's lame. That you can't get away with that in this new age. It always was lame. This is why you get so many people in the industry who get out the industry and that the first whistleblower concept and start saying, yeah, they just try to find cosplayers, and first it's a Snoop Doggy Dog, then it's gonna be a Doggy Dog Snoop, then it's gonna be a Red Rovery, then it's gonna be a Lassie Pet Poodle, and then for the most part is just the same thing. But then after a while things get burnt out. That's where we at the moment, where those things is like kind of burnt out. You can't use it no more. You can't use those tactics. So when it comes into what Jack Harlow is doing, he's not necessarily going to be able to come across as far as record sales. The narrative job just worked. Race baiting or rage baiting. That was the only one that worked. But these things ain't going to filter into record sales. So there's a false sense in the industry that if you're getting attention and talked about, this equate to record sales or products. And I'm gonna tell you right now that's false, because ain't nobody online but a whole bunch of broke people talking, trying to get money. You know what I'm saying? And their money gonna go towards how they can look better, because it start to look like it's possible that they could go a little further and they crash out energy, or if they're doing something actually teaching or whatever the case may be. It ain't about the more content creators we could get talking about us, that mean we're in the algorithm. That's you're in real life. That's just like doing something dumb. Your uncle could go to jail and everybody in the neighborhood start talking about it, nothing. That ain't gonna lead to your uncle getting out and selling no records. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got like I think y'all got the wrong idea. This is real life, real people online, not people online in the industry and then getting online. And then that's why y'all having a problem in the industry, and then y'all getting bastardized by creating podcasts and stuff like that. Because that's is really not a problem. But at some point, that energy that y'all had, y'all like y'all tainted a little bit. Like the meanings and reasons have been kicked down the road. There was a time you actually had the thought and even expressed that energy in the world that you would never had no podcast, because you might was at a time 2016 or before where the career and certain opportunities within the career was still look like it had possibilities or whatever the case. Now in a new shift, it doesn't look so bad, but your now it don't look so bad energy to jump in got some tainted qualities around it, where you may have people around you looking at you like, oh, it's like you work at Walmart now because you a podcaster, or you know what I'm saying, or based upon people like me making it the normal, comfortable thing, you actually got a way to attack it to make it seem like it's normal, because you got enough industry people that didn't copy people like me to make it like it's industry wide. But then now y'all having a problem with inflation. You know what I'm saying? So that's what y'all gonna have to deal with now. But at some point, even when it comes into Daredevil program rappers, Dare program rappers and stuff like that, like the D1s, the Russ, he was put up there to psyop whistleblower. So psyop. So when y'all see him in his backyard or whatever, you know his handler team sat and watched my live streams and said, oh, you got, and J. Cole's team. But they be trying to do so much shadow banning and stuff. They think regular people, which everybody, I don't care if you're in the industry or not, don't be watching everybody online. That's dumb. Y'all go when y'all play with numbers, y'all actually make people look at it like that. Y'all not doing what y'all think. Like if y'all play with people's numbers, y'all make people think that, oh, this person falling off, or this person be paying for his numbers or whatever. But all regular people in real life know none of us got access to that. Like if I'm sitting here with someone, right? None of us got access to the stuff y'all doing to try to create an optic around you thinking you get ready to convince people that's next to me. That don't make no sense. It's dumb. But then when they use their agents to get online to do content and stuff like that and red pill and stuff, this is why y'all lose attention. Not what y'all think y'all doing, and oh, maybe we don't look cool enough. No, you're goofy. Like you're corny. Be yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's what we talk about. We ain't sitting here talking about what y'all think before y'all try to sell something to us. Get that in y'all mind. Content creators is just as good as an audience. Everybody, audience, family, and friends ain't content creators. Understand that. But don't separate no content creator like content creators and celebrities either. They is the people, family, and things. The same thing. Because y'all keep going too far like that, y'all get online and start crashing out every day about another bum. You know what I'm saying? Somebody in the woods or something like that. And then trying to make it seem like that's the thing to do. No, it ain't. That's you. Either you lost or you a goddamn fed. Either way, you just some monkey trying to get monetized like anybody else. Get the fuck out of here. All right, now look, but peep game, right? When it comes to even people like Rick Ross, right? Rick Ross was a CEO. This why he trying to stop Remy Ma, correctional officer turned rapper movie. You know what I'm saying? Because it show exactly what the industry do. Rick Ross probably has something to do with the actual Rick Ross case. So they sat around before he became a rapper. It was like, man, there's a bunch of drug dealers in Miami right now or Florida and stuff. We got to do something with this or whatever. Get the person who look like they could be a coon, most close to the people, right? But based upon them having that connection, this where a lot of record deals come from. Like a lot this because see Ohio different than a lot of different areas, right? This is how Ohio look at people in New York, right? This is how Ohio look at people in New York. If you from New York and you claim you sold a bunch of dope or you got a record label, you the feds or you went to school and your handlers is feds. All New York gangsters at the highest level was fed. That's why they felt comfortable going that far. And then for the most part, anybody with a record label, you starting off with colonist tactics or whatever. So that's the New York hub. Briticana man, you know what I'm saying? Moravian man, Mormon man, England man, you know, German man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got they thoughts. Y'all don't know no better. But at some point, so when it comes to Rick Ross, but yeah, that's how we look at New York. Don't be bragging about no Nicky Barnes or whatever. He was a fed or whatever. Anytime somebody from New York start talking about they was the highest gangster or they did the most this, you was fed. That was the only reason. You know how deep the police thing go from New York, Jersey, Washington, that's a whole deep, that's their whole gang. You ain't nobody thinking you doing nothing without you working with them. You know what I'm saying? So you was allowed to sell dope or whatever at that high magnitude. And you knew you was working with the feds. That's why you was Nicky Barnes. That's why you was, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? This is why colonists has such a problem with Ohio and Chicago and Indiana. They had to do damage to here and Native Americans and stuff like that because they weren't having all that mixing mingling with the parts of the Haudenosaunee did with Iroquois when they split off in the Iroquois, aka British worker. Iroquois mean British worker. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to think about Khoi and Erie. So those was the Native Americans that was Khoian, British worker for the Erie rivers before you come over into the Ohio's and western PA and stuff like that. So Iroquois, just the Khoi over the Erie rivers, aka parts of the Haudenosaunee that was working with the British. You know what I'm saying? So if you understand that, natives understand that, but got coons out here don't understand that. But for the most part, when you get into Rick Ross, right, that he was a CO, so he's automatically in tune. So it's easier for him to get into an industry than gunplay or somebody. But these how people who actually on their own volition get used and abused by the artists that went to school or part of the feds. But you ain't about to be no artist if you ain't went to school or you part of the feds. Travis Scott is a perfect example of that. Kanye West is a perfect example of that. 50 Cent low-key did what Rick Ross did. Remember, before you heard who 50 Cent was and stuff like that, when you heard about him, people already got deals. So these things are already thought about by handlers and colonists and stuff like that as what's the most presentable way that this person going to reach the most broad masses of people, and let's separate this person from wherever they at the moment before they get killed. That's like pretty much everybody. So I'm saying now for the most part, even 50 Cent did something similar to like Rick Ross by him taking his name from the original 50 Cent. You see what I'm saying? So you think his team ain't have to scratch off on that. You have to sign off on these type of things. So if you get ready to get pushed to the masses, that's an importance. That ain't just no rapper doing stuff on their own volition. A lot of y'all be thinking a lot of these posters, most of the, about 90% of these rappers don't even run their own social page. Y'all be thinking what these rappers be doing be on their own volition. Like you might hear DJ Academics or something say, hey, this rapper such and such, him or her just bought this mansion or just that and third or whatever. They probably ain't buy shit. The only thing that happened was they team paid for that narrative to be out. That was the only thing that was paid for. It wasn't nothing to do with nothing else. That rappers don't be doing shit on their own volition. And that's one of the problems with the game right now. You know what I mean? It ain't the DVD days where we got to come to you and you being yourself. So it just so happens what you do is interesting. You got a bunch of nerds and pill poppers and hard drug addicts who can't even handle life. Of course they life ain't interesting. Of course you ain't gonna get no DVD feel from them. Even if they got a cameraman, you gonna get some narrative made up feel. You gonna get some, we created this story before we push the live button because we think streamer hot energy. You know what I'm saying? You gonna get that type of stuff. You gonna get, I think this was gonna make people talk about it energy. You gonna get that. You ain't gonna get somebody in their world, in their vibe, and they interested, and that's why we bought those Cocaine City DVDs. That's why we bought those Smack DVDs. That's why we bought those Come Up DVDs. You know, you're not gonna get that. You know what I'm saying? These rappers not even interesting. These rappers not even interesting. They gotta make up what they think interesting. And once you copying us, and us trying to get our 1-2 are already been interesting, and we got to sit here and decipher, is we getting shadow banned for our interesting energy or whatever? And then we got to see y'all getting paid for it or whatever. This is why y'all start not selling as many records anymore. You know what I'm saying? And this is why the industry need creative directors. Get that through your mind. Creative. It should have been a creative director around Jack Harlow to be like, look, homeboy, 2016, cool. Man, we ain't reading the room. The online buildings and stuff like that, or whatever the case may be. Or we ain't watching Archangel Uriel. He specifically said in movies, music, and all these things, they're losing steam because the average watcher or the average American got their eyes focused on any cut or slice of their culture and what's benefit or what's negative or what's being used as cosplaying or whatever the case may be. And they can't wait to jump online themselves to make themselves lit. And people who are uncreative, that'd be the first thing they jump on, because they could jump in that virtual signal and algorithm just like everybody else. So a person cannot even really care about something, latch on to something just because they lack creativity. But it look like so many uncreative people online making it right now by the inflation and CIA agents on here doing stuff like that. The average individual can have 1,000 subscribers and talk stupid and get 100,000 views, and then have people like me who've been here forever and created this whole circumstance in the first place actually get psyops and actually get shadow banned and actually get something sold to them that's saying something that they've been saying for the past 10 years. Everybody got time for that. And the audience don't got time for that. You know what I'm saying? The audience is sitting here watching like, who's this crash out? Something ain't right. You know what I'm saying? So, see, this is the thing. This is what's actually going on right now. See, this is the thing, right? Once something is broadcast and presented, there's industry deals already done for the artist or group, and they're being taught to do what Colonizer did. What is this? Cosplay. And the original cosplay back in the day, I ain't racist, I'm just making this an example because it ain't got nothing to do with them now. It's y'all. It be y'all own kind of stuff. But back in the day, the first part of it, cosplaying, Europeans was doing native hobbyism, cosplaying as Native Americans. Now they got you rappers doing that same thing. And it left from that stage. How they kind of had Queen Latifah doing it, a lot of other rappers. You got Papoose doing it now and things of that nature, right? And it's all these people not even mixed. So I'm saying they just Flavor Flav, my grandmother. Last time, so who had your parents? When a person say my grandmother is Native American, how your mother or your father ain't then? But that's how an agent sound. That's how an agent would sound. And they would make that talking point for all other lost people and things of that nature. That don't even make no sense. Where ain't nobody confused all the way to the damn Somalian in America right now. Ain't confused about their music, what they do, and what they already doing and things of that nature, and who they are. It's just agents as a small pocket of people. You know what I'm saying? Doing this thing. But once a person starts talking about my grandma, and then they start naming a Cherokee nation that don't got nothing to do with DNA. They talk about confederations. When you name stuff like, and there is actual people that got the blood of the people that was a part of the Cherokee nation, a war nation, or a government, right? You will have agents online confusing the conversation with y'all and stuff like that, and have other ethnic groups all over the place, especially people who ain't mixed, have them lost and things of that nature, where you have to understand these confederation terms mean government and military, not DNA and blood. You know what I'm saying? So when a lot of times somebody going and trying to join a reservation or whatever the case may be, that reservation might have been later in date of a war happening other than earlier than a war happening, and it just all over the place and having to figure out, because a lot of your tribe had to mix in with other tribes, like the Catawbas had to mix with a lot of other Chickasaws and things of that nature, and the Shawnee, right? So these become just titles because we're trying to run a government, the American government and the Native American government, not people DNA. So if you got family DNA that was part of a military or government, the American government or the Cherokee government or the Chickasaw, you see what I'm saying? Then for the most part, that's what it means. Not I'm Cherokee, that means you got blood flowing in you. That's dumb as fuck. But that's how they got y'all thinking. Agents online. Agents online got y'all thinking these dumb things. You see what I'm saying? So y'all got a peep game and get confusing for y'all agents. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, when it comes to the Daredevil, the Dare program rappers and stuff like that, right? That is sliding into cosplaying even old African American culture in America right now, things of that nature. So you will get a Malcolm X rapper that's just in the industry that ain't really doing Malcolm X stuff and trying to have you run around everywhere doing Malcolm X stuff, and you the only person in jail or whatever the case may be, right? But here's the thing. It started with the cosplaying, native hobbyism, then it slowly but shortly turned into cosplaying, East India stuff, Arab stuff, old colonist American stuff. So this is why you have songs when people say they came on a boat, they Christopher Columbus, they George hold on, what's the common one people use, Galileo and things of that nature. Or then a person, I'm a Hindu, or I'm a Buddha, or whatever the case may be, or I'm a Muslim, or all these crazy different things, or whatever the case may be, or whatever, right? That's just for you to even be in the industry, because you're doing someone culture, and their culture is cosplaying. So you might not know what else to do. So you're putting people in columns in some way, shape, or form, and that's outdated at the moment. So that's why people like Wu-Tang is getting questioned, like and Kendrick Lamar is being questioned, like, why is y'all doing East Asian stuff? I'm questioning Pat Pooch right now. Why is your name Al Goklian or whatever? This is why you not coming across your people. I don't have no problem coming across my people. I got problems coming across y'all because of that disconnect. The reason you got a problem with your own people because you're using my people stuff, and then now you got to disconnect with your own people. So it don't matter how good you is, your own people always got something to discredit you about, or whatever the case may be. When it comes to, there's always something wrong with your bars, and I'll be listening. You can rap real good or whatever, but you're not understanding it from a spiritual perspective. You being African, and then for the most part, not even being mixed with Native American, and then you're using Pat Poos. You got stained from what the industry been doing. You're in the real world right now where everybody is a potential audience. So you're going to have people who only want to see people be in their own bag. This is what Jack Harlow having a problem with. We want to see a white person in their white bag. I don't want no white person around me if they ain't using their whiteness. If we in the middle of winter time and you ain't got on no shorts and open-toed John Cletar sandals on or whatever, like, and an undercover cop hoodie on, and with a goddamn Make America Trump Again hat, I don't want you riding with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool. Like, if you get ready to look like me and other people around and me guys, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool. You get ready to go to jail with all of us for no reason. Just racial profiling and stuff like that. Ain't none of us even doing anything of that nature. You know what I'm saying? We got it's guilty to and then prove innocent. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got time. So that's what everybody respect. All ethnic groups respect that. We lost that somewhere in pop culture, where people who's not in tune start thinking, well, maybe I got somebody I'm closer to that's safe, that's a little bit of talented, that can mimic this, but we need to push it. And then anytime a rapper that built their, or an artist or any magnitude built their own volition, They start having to use things that they had nothing to do with the gift that God gave them to get the attention in the first place. And that's when they know they got a handler around them putting other things on them to get attention that suit them that no one cares about. So they have to hide it through things anyway, like Rihanna with the nun outfit wearing blood on her face on the Rolling Stone magazine, but then filter it through an artist and then make the artist make it seem like whatever that they doing or whatever. And then they get watered down because they're doing things for alternative motives now. You see what I'm saying? So then it becomes a circumstance where you're trying to sell something to something that you came from and just supposed to be a representation of. And everybody's supposed to do that. We're supposed to like people who do what they do. But when a person start trying to do what they think other people want them to do and cosplay, that always been a problem. It's just before 2016, it was 7 degrees distance between the audience and the industry. So even when mistakes have happened and the last rollout was perfect and y'all did the same rollout and the person didn't sell as many records and you needed 5 more Bad Boy remixes and probably throw Nelly on there or something like that, right? But this was what was actually going on still. It just was 7 degrees distance away from the audience and the industry. So the ideas that the industry may have came up with that may have been the problem is whatever that they came up with. Now we all getting just kind of merging of 2 worlds. And then for the most part, now it's like a tough pill to swallow where you're starting to realize, no, that was always the issue. People always was pointing stuff out and was saying this is disingenuous or whatever. It's just voices wasn't loud enough. We have online right now where the common average individual, the more they can represent the common kitchen, this, even if you're a celebrity, we don't care about that. If you seem like you a person that just so far away from looking like you could have that common kitchen, that common living room type of conversation or whatever, this where you lose. This is where someone who ain't even in your field could wipe you away right now and let them get a little bit of talent. You won't be able to stop them because they got that quality. In-house kitchen, in-house living room, in-house basement, car, whatever, conversation. So you don't seem like you jumping up here, you talk to a whole bunch of people and you trying to make a business out of it. No, you is a business. What Jay-Z said, it's not a business. I'm the business, man. It's not a business, man. I'm the business, man. Y'all have to look at it like that. This is not a business. You are the business. The moment you try to transmute it and jump on it like it's a business, you lose the genuine quality. And once you're in the disingenuous pocket in the spiritual world, it don't matter how much you craft something to look just like something that's genuine. Something that's genuine don't even have to have all the products and the lights and the glamour behind it and stuff like that and widescreen and stuff like that. And you won't be able to compete. And for some reason, you will have to infiltrate and flood numbers and stuff like that. And don't nobody want to get into that. That's becoming a problem now. You see what I'm saying? Now, think about it like that. Right? They play with all these type of different things. Like how they play with my numbers now. I don't got no access to that equipment. So it's lame just to sit around and play with regular people's numbers. Out of MK Ultra psyops and stuff like that. See, but I'm an adult. I don't really get into that even when I see people playing that game because you have to be in that world to play it. When you ain't got no family or no culture, you get lost up into what Walt Disney taught you want to obtain in the world. And soon as you start to go for those goals, these is the first individuals you meet or whatever the case. Now, every now and then, these individuals get bored and start trying to do these type of tactics or individuals who don't even care to be involved. And that's where they crash out a lot of times and stuff like that. But when it comes to MK Ultra or whatever like that, that don't exist either. It's just retard. You got to be someone who care about money and you ain't got nobody around you with no morals. So you just all over the place and they got people for you like that. But when they try to go force that on other individuals, that's where they crash out at a lot of times, stuff like that. When it comes to those little psyops and things. But yeah, but when this is got artists that's involved and whatever like that, they just doing it on a more broader scale or whatever, just a little lostness and stuff. But I don't get really lost in those retarded games because everybody retarded to me and stuff. I'm just in real life. People should be taking care of their own stuff, getting their creativity out. The end. Once you show me your highest creativity, you ain't shit in my mind. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there ain't really nothing you could do either. Like, it's like you just retarded at some point. And at that point, it's on you if you want to crash out any further. But when it is coming to a lot of other individuals and stuff like that, People are easily sold stuff. People are easily lost in things, and people are easily remixed in their mind or whatever the case. So the moment that they want to go out in the world and obtain things in a way that's structured that your people ain't create, this where you fall off, because you're always going to meet the people that created that structure or the agents that they got. I call them monkey soldiers, right? So back in the day, it was buffalo soldiers where we was actually in the field, but now it's monkey soldiers. It's in the mind. Y'all weak. Now y'all just want to do it in the mind now. Y'all might put on a tuxedo. Y'all might sit up there and lead people in burning churches and stuff like that. And then people who came after y'all got to do the same thing. And then the way they might get their own people is be like, yeah, see, the last person was lead y'all in a burning church. So what, they just going to lead y'all in a burning mess hall? Then once y'all go into that one, then another person gonna lead y'all in a burning cabin. Then it don't even matter. Y'all just all getting led in the burning churches, and somehow Flavor Flav's the only one still on VH1 and stuff like that. He done made all y'all fight for the power. Some of y'all, that was y'all favorite rapper, Chuck D and goddamn Flavor Flav. A lot of y'all just got out of jail 2 years ago, became a YouTuber and stuff like that. You ain't know because you was out there trying to fight the power and stuff, and Flavor Flav was making good money. Good money. Fucking white bitches, everything. Y'all fucking making good money all the time. Ain't shit. Your whole childhood got taken. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it works. They know how to destroy some damn families and cultures and ethnic groups. They know how to do that shit real good. Real good. That's a talent. It's like real good. And then for the most part, when you get Jack Harlow, right, he up there, Psyop and D'Angelo energy and stuff like that. So y'all already know that. Somebody should have sat back and told him to roll out. You know what I'm saying? That might not be the right rollout or whatever. People is protecting their culture. People trying to find their culture. And people is virtual signaling, trying to get monetized off culture right now. So goddamn it, be careful if you want to sell any records. I've never seen a business that's in the business of not making business. Not making money. I know we ain't in the business of not making money. We got to chill out. We got to come up with a little bit more creativity or whatever the case may be. So for the most part, it's a situation where these artists have to understand it's not a good time to psyop any original people online. And it's not a good time to do that. You should be an artist. What that mean? Be creative. Bring us something new that we can start copying you. You know what I'm saying? Just like goddamn Dare program rapper La Russell, right? You can't get up here and start taking all the talking points and taking ideas from content creators, because it clearly sounded like you was listening to me when I was, and J. Cole, when I was saying you got to do hand-to-hand combat and you got to bring people to you. You ain't got to go everywhere. But the moment y'all look like y'all paid to look like that, it looked like your label made people who don't even care about you show up in your backyard or whatever. Or it's probably ain't even really your backyard or whatever the case, right? It's like psyop type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Where it's almost like, kind of like agents online that race bait and rage bait, where they always try to rock their own people to sleep with a GoFundMe or something, or fundraiser or something like that. And it really be for y'all as an audience to go do it. And the moment you do it, you catch a charge. These people be getting funded by they people. When they be saying family and they people, they be talking about agents and colonists and all the ethnic groups that be a part of that stuff, and with the Europeans and stuff like that. They be talking about that. They don't be talking about no audience. Even their audience ain't even no real audience online. They chat ain't real. You know what I'm saying? Their comment section ain't real. All that is they get help more by colonists than anybody. So them colonists be the ones that be funding these cats fundraisers and stuff like that. Let you come up with one, or let me come up with one, or something like that. It'll get shamed. It'll be these same people that's funding these people shaming all of us and stuff like that. But they don't understand when they present themselves online amongst us, before y'all even do stuff like that, we telling y'all who y'all are. We telling y'all what kind of energy you in. You don't even got to go that far yet to think that, oh, well, maybe I need to be pleasing the people. No, you just goofy. You know what I'm saying? You're not an adult like that. You wasted your time. Not in real life. So you thought something else. So you can only get online and try to copy people. You can't really get online and create nothing or be nothing or whatever the case. You just psyop stuff, infiltrate stuff, whatever. So yeah, it's just like you got content creators doing that. You got Jack Harlow. You got rappers doing that right now. Just like La Russell. La Russell is an undercover cop. I don't know why Jay-Z sit there and allow this cat to give a bad name on Rock Nation. Even though Rock Nation itself, Rockefeller, you do know these cats had to have a long conversation before deciding to sign and be named Rockefeller. So all that That was the eyeball in the industry, the music industry or whatever. Like they all in the same thing. It's the same thing. It's just now the descendants now and the artists now are not creative enough to have that be something anymore. And the last creativity it was able to be was before 2016, and everybody was still more invested in TV. Now that they're trying to use the same tactics and pop culture on online, it's like you're dumping something in our faces we ain't asked for. So you're trying to do one thing, and then something else that come with it is being looked at. So we start not caring about the first purpose you're doing it for. We care about all the other stuff that come with it. This is why you got all the people complaining about podcasters right now that since they're in the industry, they get paid for their subscribers to go up or whatever. So we're supposed to believe based off their notoriety, they're getting views. But now they have to count on getting paid from synthetic views. You know what I'm saying? And YouTube ain't going to keep doing that. You know what I'm saying? YouTube just ain't going to keep doing that. Because the only thing that's being sacrificed is original content creators and the watch hours itself online. Because what is it to pay for something to have a certain look that no one is really watching? And then all the stuff that people is watching, they can't find it. They're being unsubscribed, or this person being shadow banned, or whatever the case may be. That's bad for business. Because at that point, we just going to get to the industry trying to find people they can control with that same energy. But that don't go far. Because the person that you got themselves don't have no charisma. The person that you would get themselves don't have no talent. You know what I'm saying? So it just become a whole bunch of undercover cops selling hoodies, or a whole bunch of feminists online thinking that they got the best advice for something. So we gotta chill out. So people are seeing right now, people don't even like a person that's part of a certain ethnic group or culture talking a certain way and things of that nature. That's why people like Anton Daniels and things of that nature is getting stones cast at them. If he was in a different light, he could have been in a position to cause a broader stain on Corey Holcomb. But due to the fact of all the stain he got, him talking about people, kids, him not even in the percentage scale, because things be obvious when a person right or left, the bird or the wing that they're being a coon for. And I don't hate on nobody's money. I see people online who do that and people online who don't do that. And then I can see how a person who don't do that start getting shadow banned. And you know what I'm saying? And I can see how a person that's getting fake shadow banned, they're here sometimes to be that, kind of like Myron Gaines, or they got a few. They be doing some people, like there's a lot of people that be involved a lot more than y'all know at times and stuff like that. That I be having a second question. I'd be like, wait a minute. This person got a team to act like they numbers getting played with, or they got a team that they ain't really, you know what I'm saying? So if they is getting played with a little bit, it ain't they because they retarded a little bit, but they got handlers too and stuff like that. But when a person ain't busy and they ain't got no creativity, they got time on their hands. And when a person got time on their hands, and we online talking about content, a person got enough time to go through all their emails and get anything any Fed send them. So for the most part, eventually, once a person, they go, it's two routes they go down. Start getting those synthetic agent bot views and think that they doing something good, or start actually connecting with these individuals and then they get in on it. You know what I'm saying? Then I be seeing it from that perspective also, and things like that, where like, okay, this person's still getting psyoped on them, but they still involved. They just don't know what's going on. The same people they're involved with is doing psyops on them, and just make them shut up and put them in a good position every now and then. Or this person right here, or whatever the case may be, is it fully involved now and they know they're getting paid. But the moment they can't copy, the moment they can't cosplay, the moment they start to lose credibility because they lack charisma, the moment we'll stop seeing them after a while too. Or it'll be some narratives from people that they was already involved with start doing them. You know, it'd be like a whole little tactic that don't exist on YouTube, but we start to see it happening, or whatever the case may be. And that can only come from certain pockets. Because if you're an adult and you just on here on your own volition, You in real life thinking about your bills, your 1-2 or whatever the case. You ain't got time to be getting on here playing no little childish high school games with no grown ass adults because they trying to infiltrate stuff. So these are things what adults think about and things to sit around. So you are an adult too if you're an agent. This is what you already know. Don't get online and act like you ain't. You get paid for answering your emails and making a content creator about it. But talk about how to do that better. Maybe a lot of other people will get on and look at it like it's something to do other than you thinking you pulling the wool over someone's eyes and then no one gives a fuck about it. You know what I'm saying? Which the kind of point where we're reaching at right now, or whatever the case may be, where people are all over the place like chickens with no heads when it comes to their way of expressing themselves and virtue signaling or whatever like that, or just to get into an algorithm or whatever. And so the algorithm is being suggested based upon what people care about. And if y'all care about a bunch of retardation, the same thing that you jump into as an algorithm can be used against you too from the people that control it or whatever the case may be. And until y'all understand that, y'all be crashing out a lot of times for something that you think you was lit about, and maybe some people in control of the numbers or something like that made that something that you have to wear or whatever. And then when they take the energy from you wearing it or whatever the case, you trying to figure out what happened. Now you all over the place crashing out, trying to build your content back up because you never had that creativity in the first place that built off on your own volition, where these things such as likes or however the case may be wouldn't matter in the first place. Because whatever you're doing is actually genuine, so you're making actual interactions in real life, and whatever you're actually doing also makes you feel good to present it, so you're more in a teacher aspect anyway. So charisma just comes with that when you're involved in doing something you like to do. Charisma comes with that. When you're doing shit you have to do, charisma don't come with that. And we will see motherfucker sweat every now and then. We will see people get stressed out. We will see mother crash out every now and then in that nature, because it really ain't you. Y'all really ain't activists like that. Y'all really ain't talking what y'all talking. Y'all really ain't. Y'all just trying to get monetized or whatever the case may be, like La Russell is trying to sell records. But read the room. You know what I'm saying? And if y'all are able to read the room, you're able to know what's actually going on. The sentiment is everybody is paying attention. What happened? Cookie cutter, slice, cut out, put in the oven, baked, and presented for other people to eat when it comes to their culture. People is paying attention to these things right now. And what may have been acceptable, for an example, Jack Harlow probably ain't have no interactions with no female named Monica or whatever the case. But before 2016 would have been a perfect rollout. To the point that even if it was obvious, my nigga, y'all would have accepted it as, yeah, Jack Harlow, my nigga. And that's dope. And that's a play on words. Y'all would have been in that energy. We ain't in that time. Same rollout, different time. Now, and he ain't even been in no type of headlines for anybody to even have any type of negative energy in the first place. So the only thing that worked from his rollout was the race bait and the rage bait. It didn't filter in what it would have may have filtered in 2016. You see what I'm saying? So for the most part, this is how you know it was a genuine rollout. But at the same time, different shift. Same day, different shit, different shit, same day. We just have to know we're going through a different phase at the moment. So the room is different. If Jack Harlow would have did something genuine to what he does, that make all ethnic groups like it. Right? But if you're in the industry and you're using certain tactics to think that this is what's going to get people attention, in any type of magnitude, all the way to the race bait, right? That actually is counterproductive. So there's a sign that there's a large sentiment in the industry that attention equates to sales. Attention equates to, well, we could do the damage control, and the damage control can make a bigger or better outcome or whatever. So as long as we're talked about, that's half of the battle, no matter how we have to get it. And we can use the damage control tactics as a better way of sufficifying something. Nah, I'm telling y'all, that's outdated or whatever the case may be. If you don't got nobody creative, this is one of the reasons why we at the end of the industry right now. And a lot of people y'all trying to make responsible to be at the top or the forefront of something, especially when it comes to the hip hop. Can't do it. It ain't got nothing to do with age or anything of that nature. This is why so many people care more about middle and older rappers and singers and things of that nature, right? Due to the fact of the creativity level. It don't have anything to do with telling us as an audience or fans we're not respecting people. We supposed to respect people. No, we know what we listening to in our eardrums. I don't care if you was born yesterday or you was born, goddamn it, 65 years ago. When you heard Tupac in your eardrum, it's the same sequence. You hear a little Uzi in your eardrum. You hear Tupac in your eardrum. I don't care. It don't got nothing to do with age or decades, whatever. When Lil Uzi was 25, you heard it in your eardrums. When Tupac was 25, you heard it in your eardrums. Got nothing to do with age. Got nothing to do with nothing. It got nothing to do with nothing. You know what I'm saying? You heard Snoop Dogg. You know what I'm saying? You heard Nas in your eardrums and stuff like that at that age. You heard Lil Pump at that age in your eardrums. And it don't make no difference. The only difference is you can go back to a Nas song right now. You ain't gonna go to no Lil Pump song after the week he created it and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So that let them only be differences and stuff. You gotta think to be the differences. Because y'all even had Lil Yachty. He an industry plant too. Y'all had Lil Yachty try to say something like what they spoke back in the day was trash. He was talking about something was in the 70s or something like that. I don't know what people is constructing, but there's a time frame of something being something, and that's why it's that way, or whatever the case may be. So when you think about it, ain't no Lil Yachty song about to be remembered after no year, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Just for the simple fact, Lil Yachty can even recite a hip hop, a hibbity, a hibbity, a hip hop, a hibbity, a hip. That's a hit that went way past 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. You have to be creative in a period for something to go that far in other periods, that other periods even have to piggyback off to even duplicate it, or whatever the case, to even make it better, or whatever. Y'all don't got them qualities. Lil Yachty, y'all don't got them. Y'all don't got them qualities. Only y'all got them qualities now. I'm the only one that got songs right now that somebody has sampled 10, 20 years from now, or whatever like that. And it's sampleable. I got a sampleable voice. I got a sampleable. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Real stuff. But yeah, get rid of mother last year. Y'all protect yourselves from these goddamn dare program rappers and stuff like that, which y'all already are. I didn't even have to speak on this subject. You know what I'm saying? But the whole world already in this energy, or whatever the case may be. I just like to make something make sense, so it's simple. So y'all don't have to be like, no, well, maybe it's this. No, maybe it's this. Let's try this next time. Or maybe if you're the audience and you ain't in the industry side, maybe you could be like, well, this person ain't a plant. This person genuine. Oh, nah. You go to about 5, 6 other artists or whatever. And it's another thing. Anytime somebody start getting broadcasted or whatever the case may be, if you the audience, go find who they copying. They copying somebody. Ain't no artist out alive that ain't copy somebody from their hood or someone y'all don't know. And by the time we reached 2016, somebody's SoundCloud page got deleted because some industry starts stealing all their stuff and gave it to another artist, and these cats was getting ready to start complaining. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling y'all that's it. Everybody good. If Lil Russell out right now, all you gotta do is start searching online and be like, who he trying to be like? You'll start seeing him trying to be like me, him trying to be like probably a handful of other people. You know what I'm saying? All the way going back to the Russ, right? Go back to the time Russ. You start hearing about Russ. I guarantee it was a whole bunch of African-American rappers that really start getting it independent and things of that nature. Then all of a sudden, here come Russ with a little psyop version of how independent's supposed to look like. And it'd be hard to even get in how he doing it because he's signed to do that. And before you know it, you start seeing Young Dolph get killed. You start seeing some other underground rapper that's on their own volition that's doing it. They start disappearing. Another one getting narratives thrown on them. Another one, all of a sudden, it's a big narratives around them only being a one-hit wonder now. I wonder why. But Russ still here. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling y'all, peep game. It's a demonic world out here. And you might not know who wearing it. Who wearing that demonic cloth. You don't know who in sheep clothing. It says like D1. That's goddamn Joel Osteen, goddamn psyop, whatever. Like I said, anybody who out here is supposed to be righteous. He's supposed to put everybody in some right. Last time I checked, shutting down Magic City, that's shutting down supposed to be COON businesses and stuff like that. But see, that's what y'all be having to understand too. We're going through a flushing out system. So this is especially for my mixed people. right? And my pure people, before you become a coon, you can even see Drake. Drake got a black father, European mother, right? But he got more her percentage scale. DNA fight each other. They cancel each other out. There is no such thing as this a new thing. Mexicans even understand that now, right? So you got some going more Spain, and you got some clinging to their indigenous roots. But what you have to understand is this. We're going through a flushing out system where everybody just understand you are something just mixed with the other thing based on percentage scale or however. So let's say we're talking about African Americans right now, right? A lot of y'all have to realize a lot of people, it doesn't matter even that they're dark. Sometimes y'all be putting responsibilities on white boys. Like they're more of the percentage scale of white boys. D1 is a white boy. See what I'm saying? J. Cole is a white boy. All the way down to some of these race baiters and rage baiters and stuff. Like this pay attention to the way they think. The way they act. That's why. It ain't no other reason. You know what I'm saying? Like it ain't no other reason. LaRussell, a white boy. He might got nappy hair, he might look dark, but he probably was born in America. So he 30% European, and then would y'all be claiming native, that small percentage ain't even native in y'all. That'd be Arab in y'all. Arab or some Asians or something like that. But or some Somalians. The stuff that they be bringing from New York. But he looked Jamaican or whatever like that, and 30% European. That's how he think. That's why he signed to Jay-Z. That's why he up here talking about Hitler heaven sent. All the people was heaven sent that didn't colonize people and stuff like that next to his people, Martin Luther King and stuff like that and whatever. So he all over the place. Well, he just all over the place. He didn't even know what he talking about or whatever the case may be. White boy. You know what I'm saying? These only people who just do stuff like that. I got to find a narrative and I got to go ahead and act it out or whatever. Shout out to the white boys. But let white boys be white boys. And reason why I brought that up for all my mixed people out there, especially based on percentage scale, know how not to put those pressures on people and cuss them out because they don't think like you anyway. Like I see a lot of people expecting D1 to think different. You know what I'm saying? No, he's not going to think different. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace, goddamn it, Duck. You know what I'm saying? Was Duck was FBG Duck? Yeah, rest in peace, MB Duck. That's a damn white boy. You know what I'm saying? So that shout out to Duck. You know what I'm saying? So well, yeah, we respect white people, but y'all other people sometimes when it comes to the mixed people and stuff, y'all throw the responsibility on someone that might be mixed, but you don't understand we're going through a flushing system, and this is how it always is anyway. And based on percentage scale, right, and the way a person think, you got to consider these things. So you might be wasting your breath trying to change the mind of D1 or trying to make J. Cole realize something or trying to make Drake realize something, or a lot of these race baiters and these rage baiters that can't wait to be an England American colonist, because American just mean the colonist or whatever. So they want to be that. They want to be the 30% that's in them. They want to be the 30% of the white boy in them. So they want to claim everything American. They want to fight for all the stuff the old white boy colonists was fighting over and stuff like that. They want to claim, like look and disrespect the actual people that the colonists brought over here from West Africa and stuff like that. That really just was trying to get they 1-2 together. You know what I'm saying? And start making relations with other Europeans and Native Americans and stuff like that. They disrespect them people and come up with something that ain't got nothing to do with nobody or whatever the case may be. So they're not slaves now or whatever the case may be. There's something else now, but they want all the respect of people who pick cotton or whatever the case may be. But you're some new thing that ain't got nothing to do with people who pick cotton. You know what I'm saying? You got to make that make sense. You got to make that make sense or whatever the case. So everybody be all lost in the sauce and stuff like that. So, and this is another thing too. Y'all see what they just did to my numbers, right? When y'all go to these race baiter pages or these rage baiter pages, now you can really be like, well, I know these cats numbers ain't real for it to be consistent. because we don't consistently watch that shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's the end. And then y'all hear them take our talking points, or take my talking points, or take some other content creator doing things on their own volition, but getting shadow banned and stuff like that, but been here before everybody. So you wouldn't even know how to do what you do. Y'all wouldn't even know how to upload on YouTube to do something like this without me, or whatever the case may be. You will hear them crash out cosplaying. But they think they're not doing that. Y'all got to take that either on TV or another website. You can't be on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, doing no psyop or agent work as if you're talking to an audience that ain't the content creators you're shadow banning and the people. You know what I'm saying? The audience ain't nothing but people's family, friends, associates, and coworkers, or whatever the case may be. They got the same sentiment as the person who has enough courage to be a content creator. And there's only two routes you could be looked at the way God looking at it. A person that's doing it on their own volition, or a person that doing it because they just think that this is something to do at this moment. And that come with a lot of things, agencies and stuff like that, whatever. But that you only gonna be mimicked. You're only going to be mimicking people that's doing something on their own volition. And at some point, you're going to wear yourself out trying to uphold a look. To the point that God going to sit you down and tell you, go get some charisma. Flightbot, for sure. You're not listening to the Mind and Terry's Moon. I am the Royal Archangel Uriel. And I'm going to carry God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. Raktaswa, he'll hold that yellow hoop. Massasoit, Mama Natoid. Hee hee, woo. Masasaki.